Hey.
Hey.
Hi.
Hey. Welcome back to page 3. I'm Ellie.
I'm Sydney.
And today we are going to go back into high school. For
Oh,
some of
yeah.
you who have been listening along for a little while, you know that Sid and I went to high school together and we have many a memory at that certain place. And we actually filmed an entire episode about prom, which is what we're going to talk about today.
Yes.
And then I went to go edit it and there's no audio, which is just
No, not a single word, actually. Not a
not a
single
thing
word.
for it.
And
So
we filmed this when we were together initially, sitting in Ellie's car after we did a drive-through of our high school, like, just to reminisce. So the vibe and the atmosphere was just so much more on brand with this, but it's too good of a story to not share with you, so you're getting it anyway.
and we went to In-N-Out too because, like, In-N-Out for I think a lot of people in Southern California, when you go to, like, a school dance of any sort, everyone gets in a party bus, and then the party bus always stops at In-N-Out at the end of the night, and so we're talking about, like, the chaoticness of, like, going to In-N-Out and being drunk when you and everyone being wasted and in their gowns and coming in and ordering In-N-Out and, like, totally
Yeah.
taking over the place, and the pure joy of that. So
Yeah.
yeah, we're gonna talk
Super
about prom and the goodness of that. I think it's prom season right now for people. If you're watching it this
Yeah,
year,
baby.
oh, let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Sid, take us away. Take us back to those incredible memories.
So, I'm gonna preface this with Ellie's story is way less tragic than my story. My story is pretty reminiscent of 10 Things I Hate About You, so it really is.
Except you did not love him, and you have had no desire to be with him longer than.
Yeah, but I liked him. I wouldn't have gone with
No, that's
it.
true. That's true. You
Okay,
did love
so
him.
basically, for the way that they did prom or any like school dance at our school was that if you got asked, the person was like expected to make a poster for you with like some funny pun, and then that like signified the initial start. Like when the first poster got posted on the school's Instagram story, that was like then everybody started getting their posters ready and it was like a thing.
It was the whole
So
like, the first person to do it, like, honestly was a villain in my mind. I was like, "Fuck you. You couldn't have waited another week. Like, this is so stressful. I'm not ready for this." And it was always like the couples, right? Like, in high school, it was always, like, the popular couples that were together, and they would just, like, make their poster and be like, "Yeah, we're going to prom together." Go
because
fuck
they didn't have to
yourself.
like well, it's because they didn't have to plan like their date. And if you weren't in a relationship, the way, and I'm assuming this is kind of a universal thing, but the way that it worked for us was that you didn't really pick your own date, like your
No.
friends picked for you. So it
Yeah.
was like you had this big friend group, or like there was like a grouping of like 12 people, and they all got paired off, and there was like one person that was like, okay, you're not dating this person, you're going with this person, you're going, and that was like kind of how it all worked out. And then if you were talking to somebody or like had kind of been seeing somebody, then you had to like propose and be like, okay, like I want to go with this person because we've been talking. And then like that's how everybody, it was like a spreadsheet, basically. It was like a physical spreadsheet of how people got paired off. And basically, I had a little crush on this guy. And now that I like reflect back, like I don't know if we actually ever talked or if I like that was in my own head.
No, but
We,
no, but because I remember vividly that Sid was telling me about him, and, like, I really had no idea who he was, and then I was in my car in, like, the lot where we would all park, and I saw him get into his fucking fuck-ass BMW. What is this him? I think I sent you, like, a photo on Snapchat. I was like, I think I just saw him. Like, I think I saw him, like, she sent me, like, maybe, like, a photo, and it was, like, some blurry-ass photo, but I was like, "I think this is him. I think this is him." And it was, like, the biggest deal of, like and meanwhile, like, I'm older, so I look, like,
a
creepy and,
creep.
like, like, "Are you gonna get to" and he was, like, going to baseball, like, oh my god, the baseball team at our school.
And unfortunately for me, the pretty much only other person in high school that I ever like talked to, had a crush on, had a thing with was also on the baseball team in a different grade. And
Wait. Oh.
I'm not telling you this right now.
We can edit it out, don't worry. Tell me.
You know who, Ellie.
Oh, I do know, I do know, I
Yeah,
do
keep this in.
know.
And so me and the guy that I ended up going to this dance with had been, this was junior year, by the way, had been talking. And by talking, I mean we had flirted over Snapchat a couple of times because that's like really all that
And
consisted
by
of.
flirting, it's like, complimenting or, like, swiping up on your story and being like,
Like,
"Cute."
cute. Or being like, yeah, or being like, I wish I got to see you today. Like that.
Or, like, "You look really good today."
Yeah. But like you would never dare say such a thing in person to me.
No.
So I reached out to the only other person I'd ever talked to. And I was like, listen, I really like this guy on your team and I want to go to this dance with him. And now you may think, Sydney, why the fuck would you reach out to the other guy about the other guy?
Right.
Well, at this point, we were buddies because his best friend was dating one of my friends. So that's like kind of how this whole thing was going to correspond is that like I knew that I could go with who I wanted if I told, let's call this guy A. If I told guy A that I wanted to go with guy B, guy A would tell his best friend who was dating one of my friends so that I could go with guy B.
So
Does
that then
that
it
make
could
sense?
all be on the same bus together. Wait.
Yes, but he wasn't. But we'll get there. So lo and behold, we have a little text exchange being like, okay, I guess we're going together. And I'm like, okay, fire. No poster, no nothing. We're going together.
You didn't do a poster?
Not initially. I pick out my dress, I plan the situation, and basically I really like the way that my friends did their party bus situation was we were split into like two groups, and because the girls in my girlfriend group were dating in two friend groups of guys, so you either went with one guy friend group or the other guy friend group. And so I wanted to go on one of those two buses. I played water polo in high school. A lot of my friends were dating guys on the water polo team. I wanted to go with that bus because majority of my friends, guys and girls, were going to be there. However, said person I'm going to this dance with wanted me to go on this bus with his group of friends that I didn't know at all. I knew two of the girls on the bus, and I didn't know any of the guys. But I was like, okay. So upon talking further with my friends and everybody else involved and them talking to him, I agreed to go on that bus, and then they convinced him to do a poster, and he showed up to my house, and I want to tell you what the poster said, but it has his name in it, so I feel like I can't. But it basically said, "Would you blank my wish and come to whatever with me?" And you can now interpret his name if you want. Actually, you can probably find it like on my
Yeah,
Instagram or tagged in
you
my
probably
Instagram.
could,
Like,
yeah.
this is not that serious. Like he's
No.
a good person. Like this is not that deep. But, so yeah, and if you saw the photo of me and what I was wearing and like the whole thing, you would be like, why would anybody go with this person?
That's not fucking true. You were such an alternative girl in high school, but you have to remember that everyone was dressing that way. Like, you weren't
I
like
was wearing baggy jeans with rips in them, black Doc Martens, a black and white striped long sleeve with a red t-shirt over it. Okay?
bars.
And so, yeah, we agreed to go. I agreed to go on this bus, and my one like condition was that my best friend at the time, who also decided to go, was going dateless. And so then I was like, okay, she's coming on the bus with me because if I'm going to be with you and your friends that I don't know, she's coming with me. And he was like, yeah, I don't care, what else. So we go, we take the photos, we do the whole thing, which like if you went to our high school, then you know that the photos was like really the only reason anybody went because you stand on these cliffs and the ocean's behind you and like 9 million people show up to take pictures and parents are there and significant others are there and it's just like a fucking nightmare actually. And so I go and I take the pictures and I do the whole thing and then we get on this bus. And after pictures, other than like being really nice to me in front of my parents and like whatever, he's just kind of being like non-committal like all night. Like he's just very 1 degree of separation from me at all times. And I'm like, okay, like keep in mind, first school dance I've ever been to, junior year of high school. So I don't really know what the normal vibes of these things are, but I was pretty sure this wasn't it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, so we're on this bus and this dance was at the Wax Museum in LA. So you have to get on the bus, you go to the Wax Museum, you get back on the bus, you stop at the Santa Monica Pier, everybody plays games, gets hammered on the way to the Santa Monica Pier, and then from Santa Monica Pier, you go to In-N-Out.
Wait a damn minute. Wait a damn minute.
I know. You drank on the way to the or on the way to the wax museum.
No, no, I was about to tell you that I went with guy A to that fucking formal, Syd.
Yeah, you went with my guy A
I
to that
went with
same dance.
guy, but it was not like it really was not like guys. Like, I swear it was not me being like, "Oh, whatever." Like, I mean, like, I went with him and they come up to me and they were like, in the middle of the prom bus, they were like, oh my God, I'll never forget this. They were like, would you like want to make out with him? And I was like, no,
Because you guys
no.
were like very, very friendly because of your
We
friend
were
group. Like,
really good
or-
friends. And so I was
yeah.
like, perfect. Okay, I'll go with like a friend of mine. And like,
That was
wow.
also a popular thing is that if there were people that like couldn't be paired or like didn't have an interest in anybody, like they would just get paired. They would just go with their friends. Like that was like normal. But yes, you did go with him.
And I have to clear my name here. I was also like, I did not know that I was gay at the time. I mean, Syd knew that I was gay at the time, but I had no idea that I was gay at the time. So I really like, I was just going purely because I just
Also,
wanted to be
this
on that
was like
fucking
not an
bus.
offensive thing. Like I was like I knew about this. Like we talked about. Like this was not a
Isn't
thing.
that fucking crazy? I
I know.
forgot.
I didn't actually realize that that was the situation. So yeah, basically that's the initial. That is what the format of the night was supposed to look like. And so I'm just kind of assuming like, okay, maybe he's like not super chatty with me or like in my vicinity because we're on the bus with all of his friends. And like I feel like if I was on the bus with all of my friends, maybe I would probably be less attached to him. But I just like didn't know anybody else, so I kind of like whatever. We get to the wax museum, do our lap. I am goody two shoes times a million, so I didn't drink at all. I did not have one sip of alcohol all night. I was so scared. I did not drink. So we get to the wax museum. He's like drinking. We get back. We go to I could tell he was drunk or drinking. I don't know. Like, I don't want to like.
I feel like everybody in high school has like one sip of alcohol and they're like, oh my
Exactly.
God.
And I don't want to like bash him and make him out to be really bad because like he's really not. And so
No, we're all just young and stupid.
we were 15, like literally.
Young,
I
wild,
was
and free.
15. And so basically, we go to get back on the bus, and I'm lined up outside with I see which bus is ours. We're leaving the wax museum, and I look around, and my date is gone. And I'm like, okay, now I'm on this bus with all these people I don't know. My date's gone. Perfect. Perfect. Just for a girl with social anxiety, I mean, that is just where exactly you'd like to be.
And
And
also, it's like with the preface of like high school is just a hunting ground for the socially anxious. Like, or I shouldn't say that. It's like we're the prey. Like being anxious and everybody has social anxiety in high school. So like every move that you make is so much more exaggerated because everything feels so extreme. I mean, you have those fucking hormones pumping through you. Like the fact that your date ditched you was like, that's like life altering, life
At the
ending.
time, it in fact was. And I
Yeah.
also knew, I was like, as soon as I realized he wasn't getting on the bus, I was like, people are going to know about this. And it's going to be said that I got ditched at this dance by this guy who was significantly more popular than I was. This is going to blow. So we get on the bus and all of his friends are trying to like, keep the peace. And they're like, Sydney, we're going to have so much fun. Like, we're going to go to the pier and we're going to all play games together. And like, you have your friend who I have my like one best friend that I brought. And they were like, and you guys are going to have so much fun. And like, you guys can just go together because who fucking needs him when you guys have each other? And they were really like, genuinely, his friends were so sweet about it. And two of their dates were friends of mine that I knew, so, like, or like at least I knew them. And so everybody like really was like trying to be like, don't even worry about where he is. But I wanted to know. I was like, where'd you go?
Yeah.
I want to know. And I discovered that when I thought I was talking to him, he was also talking to somebody else and he abandoned my bus to get on their bus. And then a video of them making out circulated shortly after. So that's
I think that I haven't heard the story before, but like every time it's like, wow, it really gets me.
yeah. It also is made worse by the fact that she was in the grade younger than us. Also, no shade to her either. Like me and her have been like, I mean, we were friends. She's friends with my sister. Like, there's no beef there either. Like, this is not that serious. Like, but at the time, I was like, fuck both of them. Worst night ever. Like, and I've never been to a fucking school dance. Like, it took all the balls I had to go to this. So I was like, oh, you guys fucking blow. You guys fucking blow. And so his friends are like gassing me up. And obviously, as any 15-year-old in Southern California at their school would do, at anybody in high school in general would do, I get to Santa Monica Pier and I take a picture with my best friend flipping the camera off and I post it on my Snapchat story and it says, fuck you. And I posted it. And you know what? Not one person swiped up because everybody knew. Everybody fucking knew that that was going to happen, why I was going to post it. I mean, there was no question. Nobody could have swiped up and been like, oh my God, what happened? Everybody knew. Everybody knew. So lo and behold, I end up having a pretty decent night. We go to In-N-Out. I had fun with his friends. And Next morning, I wake up to a Snapchat that says, "I'm really sorry, that was bad." Like, that was something, like, about how, like, that was, like, not good date etiquette or something like that, and I was literally just like, it already happened. And so, fast forward a wee little bit, and it's important to note that I have a very strong familial relationship to his grandmother.
His grandmother is an amazing person.
Also,
I
Ellie has a relationship with her too. Like, I'm not a
do.
fucking weirdo, okay? Like, I
No,
didn't
for sure.
you have to understand that me and Ellie were a part of an organization that she worked for, and we spent so much time with her, and then after me and Ellie graduated from the organization, we, like, continuously just kept going to her and kept spending time with her.
She's been to my house.
Yeah. I
Her and
mean,
my mom
she
are
sat at my family's table for dinners and, like,
love them.
yeah. So and she's a wonderful woman, and I recently saw her actually when the reason this was so funny when we filmed this episode initially is because I had plans to see her the next day. So, basically, continuing after this, formal's over, me and him basically never speak again.
Mm,
And not in a, like, we hate each other way, I just was like, that was it. It
yeah,
was over.
just
And we ran in separate groups, and it just nobody really talked about it again. But I continuously went to see his grandmother for the service that she, like, helped me with, and I would go see her, and she'd be like, "And how is he?" And I'd be like, "So good." Like and she'd be like, "Well, how was the dance?" And I'd be like, "Amazing. So amazing."
Right, we don't even know.
And so let's fast forward, that was junior year. Or maybe that was no, that was my sophomore year, your junior year, I think.
No, it was your junior year, my senior year,
Oh,
because we went to the wax
it was
museum.
right before COVID, yeah. So then COVID rolls around, all of these things happen senior year, okay? We never went back to school after this. Full year later, I am sitting in a Zoom room taking my freaking class for AP Gov, and our teacher goes, "Okay, I'm gonna assign everybody to breakout rooms, 2 to or 4 to 3 to 4 people per room," and she basically tells us this assignment, and you have to break it down to 3 to 4 different parts based off of how many people are in your group. I'm like, "Okay, cool." I'm waiting for my breakout room to load. Only one other person in here with me. Who could it be? My formal date. "What up, bro?" Have not spoken in a
Yeah,
year. Have not spoken since the events of the dance.
yeah.
I think the last time we actually spoke real words to each other was taking photos before we got on the bus. And I'm like, "Hey,
Hey, rock star, what's up?
what up?" We don't talk, we both just, like we're so baffled that we just kind of laughed, and both of us were like, we would get stuck in the only two-person room.
Yeah,
The only two-person Zoom breakout room would be us.
right.
So, yeah, that happened, we laughed it off, and I don't know, I'm assuming that means we're good, and we haven't spoken since, but no bad blood. I saw his grandma a month ago. She is awesome. I will probably see her a couple weeks from now anyway, and yeah, moral of the story, if you are from my high school or you are from any member of this story and you see this, like, I just hope you can laugh about it because it's really not that serious, but it is a funny dance story to just reflect on the fact that, like, everybody's getting hammered at In-N-Out, and I'm sitting there, and they're like, "Where did he go?" And I'm like, "I don't know." Or then we're, like, at Santa Monica Pier, and they're like, "Did you guys start drinking yet? Like, do you know where he is?" And I'm like, "I don't know." So, yeah, it's funny, I don't know. School dances were taken so extremely seriously at our high school, like, this was, like you would have thought it was a fucking wedding. So, yeah, that's my story. Ellie's story is significantly funnier, but
Yeah.
go after it, girl.
I'm so happy that you shared that. Thank you for sharing with us, Sid. I'm so sorry what happened to you, but
She says with, like, a half straight face.
but I'm glad it makes great story time now. So, what the fuck is my story? Oh, right. Okay, so I I don't even know where to begin. Like, okay, so I wasn't like by any stretch of the imagination. I would just say that I was very like, how would you describe me in high school? Like shy, maybe, and like,
I'd say that you were shy, but you were a part of a very well-known friend group, which kind of helped.
yeah, it
It's like
certainly did help, but I really didn't
you
really.
were like the quiet of that group. Like, it didn't make a ton of sense that you were there, but you were.
But I was there nonetheless. I think it's because I always like really had really great individual friendships and people really appreciated my friendship, but I wasn't there to like help you up the social ladder. Do you know what I mean? I was like there for
Yeah.
you, like there. Do you know what I mean? Oh. I was in a friend group of sorts, and I, like, really had no idea who I was going to, but I was, like, gung ho. I was like, "I'm fucking going. I wanna go to this dance, like, I wanna make this, like, a thing." Like, I'm just, like, so super excited. So, like, all my friends kinda get together very similarly, like, "Okay, what about you go with this person?" And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, like, I'm down, like, sure, like, whatever." I'm talking to, like, my best friend, one of my best friends, Ariel, and this is funny, I should have talked to Ariel about this when I saw her on Saturday. But, we are talking about it, and we're having this whole conversation, and she's like, "Okay, this is great." So, like, she comes over to my house, and, like, we make, like, our prom posters and
Oh,
everything.
wait, because yours was Sadie's where
Mine was Sadie's. So
it was
so
girl
I
task guy.
yeah, and I remember vividly, like, dances and, like, just about anything was just really would make me really anxious, like, would never really, like I didn't have, like, such a close connection to, like, guys, like, I really wasn't, like, friends with I've never been drawn to that energy, like, I've really never in my
Huh,
life.
that's crazy.
Crazy, who would have thought? But anyways, I just didn't have, like, a lot of god friends, and so I was super anxious, and I just didn't know, like, the protocol of, like, "Oh god, like, you want me to, like, talk to you? Please don't make me do that." So, my friend at the time was like, "Okay, you're gonna go with him, like, he's great, like, he's a great date, like, you're gonna be on this bus." So I, like, do the bus thing, and then, like, bring the check, and the girl pays for I think it's, like, the girl pays for the bus, and the
And
guy
the
pays
guy
for the
pays for the
ticket.
tickets. Yeah.
And so I paid for the bus and all these things, and then, like, and lo and behold, it's fucking Sadie's. So I'm like, "Fuck me." Like, I was so pissed. Like, equally, like, if there is a villain, which was the person that first started asking whoever to the date, and then there is the simultaneous villain, and that's ASB. Just period, end of story. Fuck
Can
ASB.
you explain what ASB is?
As
ASB is student government.
Yeah, student body, and they decide, like, all the dances and the themes, and they make the posters, and they do all this stuff, and, like, if you're an ASB, you're usually quite popular, or you have some sway, or you're just a fucking douchebag, and
Sorry to everybody in our high school that was an ASB. Clearly, Ellie has really strong opinions about the fact that she had to make a poster for prom.
yeah, so there was Sadie's, I was like, "This is so stupid," and I was so anxious about it, I was like, "You gotta be kidding me." So I make this super cool poster with Ariel, and we're in my house, we make this poster, and I go and I ask him whatever. So then we get to the dance, and he's great, like, but we're not really, like, like, we're just I think, like, the first conversation I really ever had with him was truly at the cliffs, like, taking these photos, and I think it was funny because, like, at the time, like, he was, like everybody knew him because he was, like, fashion icon. Everybody knew him because of his fashion. He had all of the coolest stuff, he was so fashionable, he was kinda, like, skater fashionable, but
Like, he
also
had Supreme before Supreme was even pop.
yes, and, like, he had, like, a very specific music taste, and, like, my brother in high school loved this rapper called Xavier Wolf, and I made his poster because he liked Xavier Wolf. Was like, the only and I bare like, I really had no idea, so I made, like, his poster that, like, was like, "Would you be my Akina superstar at formal?" And, like, he was like, "Oh my god," like, "Oh my god, yes, I will." And I was like, "Yeah, like, I'm cool like that, but I'm really not." Like, and so we go to formal and we take our photos, whatever. And so before he was really into, like, what I was wearing so that he could match, so that we can, like, have, like, my dress and his
You could
bow
have a
tie.
fashion moment.
Yeah, we had to have a fashion moment. So he was, like, very committed to this and was, like, sending me belt options and, like, "What do you want me to wear?" And, like, all these things, and I was like, "Oh my god, this is, like, perfect." Like, if I would have a relationship with any guy, this is the most perfect relationship that I can have with a man. So he, like, has his bow tie that, like, perfectly matches, like, my dress, like, I send him my dress, and I'm like, "Okay, this is it." He finds, like, a bow tie, he sends me options, it's so great, he's like, "I'm gonna wear this belt." I'm like, "Oh my god, it's so great, I'm so happy." He's amazing. We meet, he's looking great, we take maybe one photo together. I'm like, "Great," we get on the bus. Was
Can
I
you not
drink
are you gonna explain the belt?
Yeah, I'm gonna explain the belt when the belt
Okay.
comes back at the story. So, I'm, like, hanging out with him and, like, whatever, we're having this whole conversation, and then, like, we kinda just don't even really see each other. I'm just hanging out with my friends. Was I drinking? I don't think so. I probably didn't No, I wasn't drinking. Was I?
Probably only on the way home, if anything.
Yeah, maybe. And I really don't think I was. I don't know what I was doing, but I don't know. Anyway, so we go on the bus and we're hanging out, we're doing the whole thing. And then lo and behold, at this party, one of my really near and dear friends to me broke in into so the girl of the party that we went to, she had a snow globe collection that had been amounting for a long amount of time. Like, her whole family had, like, I don't know, it was very, like, very near and dear snow globe collection to her family. and my dear friend, oh my god, if you knew who broke the snow globes, you would just it was so fucking fitting, and I if you're seeing this, Livy, I love you because you're just so iconic. She broke all the snow globes, so we all had to leave. So, whatever, it was, like, this big thing, and then the next day, I'm, like, getting ready to, like, post. So, like, everybody, like if there's, like, 3 really major important moments in the stream of events that happen in the
Our high school.
formal high school like, no, just for the dance. It's the poster, the party bus, and the post after, okay? When you would go on Instagram the next day, every scroll was filled with who went with who and who went with who and what were they wearing and oh my god, did you see that? And what was their caption? And so cutesy and who's commenting on them and all this stuff. And I once again, not like I wasn't like a very like popular person in high school. Like I really was just kind of like, quiet, whatever. And so I'm texting the friend that set me up to go with her, and I'm like, I need a really good caption. She was like known for making the most incredible fucking captions of all time. And so I sent her, and then I'm like, please, I need a good caption. I need a good caption. I need a good caption. She's like, "Okay, perfect." So she sends me this caption and she's like, "This is gonna go so hard." And I'm like, "Oh my god, no, it's perfect. I'm gonna do it." So I don't even ask him first if I can make this the caption, but I do it. So I post on my thing and like meanwhile, I like at the time, like I really didn't get like a lot of attention and like I really was like the quiet kid. I like the first scroll was of like the post, like when we were scrolling, it was me and like one of my best friends, Ryan. It wasn't like me and my date. But you scrolled and my caption was, "Is it cold in here or is it just at this person's belt?" And when I tell you, maybe this caption isn't that good.
Are you asking me?
Yes, I'm asking you.
I was waiting for you to finish your sentence. See, I think now it wouldn't go hard, but at the time,
At
that
the
was
time,
just, like, iconic.
it went so hard. So it was almost the equivalent of having like a viral video on TikTok. Like
Yeah. It
I
really actually, that's a perfect way to put it, because if you had, like, a fire creative caption and you got, like, more than, like, I don't know, 50 likes on your Instagram and, like or, like,
Oh
30
yeah.
comments or so that was the thing.
And I mean like everybody and their fucking mother, people I had never talked to in my life. I felt like the coolest person around town. Everyone was commenting on my fucking Instagram post. They were like, "Oh my god, this goes so hard." The guy that I went with was like, "Oh my god, this goes so hard." All this stuff, and I was like, "Yeah."
Can you explain the belt?
Oh yeah. So the belt was a bedazzled. I don't even think it was
I mean, it was fully blinged out, like, gemstone galore.
like, so yeah, like, I'm not gonna pull up a picture because I don't wanna, like, out him, but you can still find it. So, like, this massive fucking belt that was, blinged out. Everyone was taking videos of this belt being like, when like, that whole thing was going off about, like, there's, like, a rapper that did a song, and it was, like, about a belt. Just,
Yeah.
like, a dripping thing, like, the whole, like, ice cold, like, what was
Yeah.
it? Like, yeah, I got drip, but I don't know,
Yeah.
like, so hot, I don't even know. And he had this, and I just felt like the coolest person alive. That's my story. I just had this fire Instagram post, and I didn't talk to him at all, actually, like, had no desire to speak to him. I only have one other memory at a school dance, and that's at my prom, where this actually fuck-ass guy took a video of me making out with my boyfriend at the time and posted it, and I actually felt like I had, like, a sex tape that released. And I was so, so mad. Like, I was like, "You fucking douchebag." I was so mad. So
My only other memory is that my prom got canceled because of COVID, and
yeah,
so they ended up doing, like, a makeshift prom that they could, like, get away with doing at this
sure.
different thing, and I pulled up with my now boyfriend at the time, but who did not go to high school with us, not in anybody's friend group.
Bad.
Nobody knew him, and I also nobody knew we were talking. This was, like, my big secret that I, like, had this guy that I was talking to and seeing, and we weren't dating at the time. We started dating 2 days after, but we were not dating at the time. And I showed up to prom, and God, if my parents are seeing this, I got so wasted, it's unbelievable. I mean, I got so wasted, it's unbelievable, and I ran around telling everybody we were dating.
Oh,
People were like, "Who is that? We don't know him, like, he doesn't go here," and I was like, "That's my boyfriend." We weren't dating. I just ran around telling everybody he was my boyfriend, and then I got so drunk, and we went to this after party, and everybody was, like, hooking up with their dates or, like, making out with them, and I was so pissed because he hadn't kissed me, not once, and
they're dating now, by the way. They're
we've been
still
dating for
together.
5 years now, but
Together.
but
They
I
have kids
was
together.
but also, I don't I don't drink and I don't get drunk, so me being wasted was, like, really scary anomaly for everybody, and we'd go outside, and I can't even express to you this is probably top 3 drunkest I've ever been in my life, and I, like, am telling my best friend in the bathroom, I'm like, "Everybody's getting kissed but me, like, what the fuck is this? Like, what the fuck is that about?" And I go outside and I'm in my after party dress, which was like a different dress than I wore because I changed into a short dress because it was senior prom and we were in long dress. I changed into a little short dress for the after party and I'm sitting on a curb like this, knees up outside the after party on my knee,
Yeah.
like this, just asleep. And he called my mom to come pick me up.
Like,
And so we get scooped in the car, and my mom, like, thinks this is funny, like, this is probably the first time in my life I had fun in high school, so my mom was just so happy, but then she was like, "Do you want me to give you a ride home?" to him, and he was like, "I think I should just Uber." And so he left, and the next day I was mortified because I was like, "Oh my god," like, I got home and he didn't, and, like, nothing happened between us, and, like, we'd been talking for, like, 3 months at this point, so I was like, "Oh my god." And so I texted him and I was like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Like, I didn't even whatever." And then I was like, "Wait, no, fuck you." So then I texted him and I was like, "Why everybody got kissed but me. What's your deal with me? We've been talking for 3 months and you didn't kiss me at prom. And honestly, like, I just think that's fucked up." And he was like, "I didn't want to kiss you because you were so hammered. I was scared that it would be considered assault." Which, like, that's so nice of you. I'm so sorry for being so evil. Like, I mean, he shut me right the fuck up, and I was like so, yeah, then the next night, I went to another makeshift prom with other people where he was not present, and yeah, lo and behold, been dating for 5 years. The next day, he asked me to be his girlfriend, and I've been his girlfriend ever since. But that's my only other story is that, like, the one time in high school that I got so obliterately drunk was at my senior prom, and it was the first time we were allowed out of the house in a year, so
Yeah.
what are you gonna do? See ya.
Literally, what are you gonna do? Yeah, funny is that another small town connection is that the person that the globes broke at is the same person that set my girlfriend and I up together. Tea. There's not tea.
I was gonna ask you after the episode was over who it was.
Now you know. Now you know. So, yeah, this is just I feel like we should come back around. I think we should do, like, some high school stories part 2 because I wanna talk about, like, my first boyfriend in high school who he's like a gem.
Have we checked in on him and asked how he's doing?
No, I could. I actually couldn't, but I really genuinely uh, incredible. I can't even go into that because he's just such an incredible human being. Anyways, so those are our stories. Those are our experiences and our times in high school, prom. If you are in high school, cover your ears for all the times that we swear. I'm sorry. And then also, I hope that you know that it's not the fucking serious. And like, if it is super fun for you, amazing. If it's horrible for you, then a couple
Yeah,
years will be
just
rough.
know that, like, me and Ellie were like, I, like, am so like, my sister had the best high school experience of all time, and, like, I will not judge her for that, and me and Ellie had pretty not so great ones, and so, like, if yours is not that great and you think it right and you're sitting here right now being like, "This is the worst thing ever, it's the end of the world, like, high school's supposed to be this, that, and the other thing," just know that this is, I don't know, probably 6 or 7 years later, and we think this is hilarious, and we are totally fine, and you will be too,
You
so.
will be too. We love you. Thank you for this chaotic ride. Stay tuned for Book of the Month,
Yeah.
and we'll see you in the next chapter.
In the next one.
Bye.
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 Yay!
Welcome to Book of the Month
Book
time.
of the month time.
Okay, yes, we're in section 2 of Cat About Town by Kate Conte. Is that how you
Yes,
say
and
it?
if you're I think it's Kate Conte, it's Kate with
Yeah.
a C. And if you're following along, we are on chapters 13 through 24. That is what we read for this week.
Yeah. Yes. Okay. So once again, struck by how much I love all the small characters. Like I love the
Yeah.
side characters. I love how much they all kind of come together. I love how every single one of them keeps asking about the murder. Like I love
Yeah.
that like I think her mom is calling her and like all of the small businesses are being like, "Wait, what's going on?" And like, "Did you hear about this happened?" And like I love how it's just like all like the air of like something big happens in a small town and like everyone's talking about it. That's really accurate to me. I genuinely feel like I live in this town and like I could go and like spend my life there and
Yeah.
and like go to like Cass's Tai Chi
And the donut shop
and
and, like,
donut shop and like go to all these different places. And I love how our main character, I don't know if I'm like loving this fully, but I love how she's like like, self-asserted herself as, like, an investigator.
Mhm.
Like, she's trying to figure it out herself. I'm like, "Girl, okay, I love it." And then do you remember how we did our, episode a couple weeks ago, and it was, cancelable characters?
Yes.
Or, like, why would these people be like, who would be canceled, and, like, what about this would be canceled?
Yes.
I fear our main character would be canceled, and can I tell you why?
Sure.
She says something like somebody comes in, I can't remember who exactly, but somebody comes in and it's like her nemesis who she wanted to who was convinced that our main character stole her boyfriend back in high school because she didn't go to the prom with her, and the main character walks
Oh.
in and she has, like, a smaller wedding ring, and she, like, notes that as if it's, like, of some, like, sort of significance, and then she also had, like, said a couple comments about, like, beauty things where I'm like, I don't know fully in my heart right now where the story is if you're a girl's girl.
No.
Nonetheless, I'm following along. Like, I am
Oh,
just
yeah.
trying like, I really am just treating this book as, like, it's not gonna, like it's my, like, little palate cleanser at the end of the night, take my mind off of things, be easy breezy beautiful, or be easy breezy, and then, like, I'll go back to my thought-provoking books that, like, really teach
Yeah.
me something and, like, make me look internally later. I think it's balance, all about balance. So that's
Totally.
kinda how I feel.
I like that you mentioned the little, like, stuff that she's done that's, like, a little catty,
Yeah.
because to me, like, I don't necessarily know if it's not being a girl's girl. I think it's more, like, trying to show the, like, small town stuff. Like, she
Mm.
left and went to California and started this whole life in a big city. The things that still get her are, like, the high school drama in her small
Yeah.
town. Like, she'll never get over this little argument she had with this high school girl, like, 10 years ago. And I think including that is just, like, such a point to, like, emphasize, like, this town really is so small that, like, she has moved on, created a whole life,
Yeah.
and she still remembers that, and, like, it still evokes this emotion out of
Yeah.
her to, like, be a bitch about it. And,
That's such a good point. That's such a great fucking point.
like, that's so small town to me. Like, that is just, like, the epitome of what growing up in that environment is like, so I think that that was, like, maybe the intention.
Dare I say, Sid, I think I would give a fuck if I still ran into Sid. Like, if those things I can't say
Yeah.
that I wouldn't be like I probably wouldn't be able to be the bigger person in that situation.
I would have had the same internal monologue as her, 100%.
I like isn't it crazy though that high school has, like, a grip around your throat?
Especially a small high school where everybody knows
Yeah,
everybody's drama, which I think is
yeah,
like, here everybody knows everybody's drama, like, everybody's telling her little
yeah,
snippet theories of what Frank did and what he
yeah,
could have done and why he might feel this way, and I think it's just, like, totally full
totally,
circle of exactly what that means to be a small town. I
totally.
wrote that same thoughts as last week, honestly, just super wholesome, and I'm enjoying the experience. I like Craig, no complaints. He seems cute, but I also like that she's keeping her options open, saying yes to other dates and things, and kind of not locking herself down to the idea of staying there. Like, I just like that, like, it hasn't jumped so quickly to typical, like, high school guy is still here, and I
Yeah,
could give up my life in the big, beautiful city to come back for him.
totally
Like,
like Hallmark
I like
movie,
that
yeah.
it's like, I'd go to dinner with him.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's the thing that kinda gets me too about it. It's like, she really goes through life, and I'm kind of envious. She really just goes through life with just being like, "Yeah, like, I'm doing this. Like, I'm gonna investigate a murder. I'm gonna stay a couple extra weeks in my small town.
Yep.
I'm gonna do all of these different things." I think what was misleading me is because the back of the book is like, she's gonna come back home to, like, start her own business, and I'm like, girlfriend still hasn't started her like, she's not there for that reason. She's there because her grandma died. Like,
Yeah.
I feel the back was a little bit misleading. I'm not mad about it.
No,
However
I actually think it's good because sometimes I feel like the back of the book can kind of be like a movie trailer where you watch the entire thing in 10 seconds and I'm like, well, now I don't even need to see the movie.
yeah.
Sometimes that's how I feel about the back of the book. But I just
Totally.
like that she's like, I think the thing is that small town genre in general, like that vibe, small town mystery, small town romance, small
Yeah.
town whatever. The one thing that always gets me is it always comes back to the person that they were in love with at 17
Yeah.
and whatever.
And they
And
have
so I think
unfinished business and they have to, like, open it right now and crack open that can of
exactly.
worms.
And
Yeah.
so I think the fact that even though Craig has become this like semi-important side character in her journey to figure out what's going on with her family, I like that she didn't immediately like upon seeing him be like, and I've missed him.
Yeah.
And I love him. Like I like that she still has her own story. I really appreciate that. And
I
then
like that she has her own
also
story, her own side quest. I also like that I don't know anything about the relationship. I have no idea why I
uh,
don't know I don't know how the relationship functioned. I don't
I
even
don't
know
know how it ended.
I don't even know why they were in love with each other. Like, it just is such an interesting take
Very
on
atypical for small town.
totally, because usually you're like the romanticization of it, and who doesn't wanna fucking romanticize, like, my high school,
Duh.
and we were in young love wasn't wrong, like
No notes. I think this was such an interesting take, and I think it keeps the focus on the mystery a little bit, which I appreciate that the mystery doesn't become like a secondary thing to her romance story.
totally.
Also, loving the cat. I love that he
I bought
just
the
shows
fucking
her up on
cat.
his I super into him. He's just fucking adorable. He reminds me of my cat Bowie so
He
deeply.
is so Bowie. He
So
is so Bowie.
he reminds me so much of Bowie, and for those of you that don't know, I have a orange cat, a black cat, and my orange cat Bowie is, exactly what everybody says about orange cats, which is what makes me think he's so much like her cat in this because it's so like JJ, that's the cat's name in this story. And right, isn't it JJ?
Yeah, it's JJ.
Okay. And he's just very like only responds when he needs to, like
Yeah.
disappears for his food and his food only, struts around on a leash. And so when we're talking about JJ, this is who I'm picturing. Just so you guys know, I'm picturing Bowie.
Oh my god, it's
Um,
perfect.
last but not least, I have my first suspicion of the book. And my first
Oh,
suspicion is that something is I don't have any idea of who the killer could be.
I
Like I
I actually
really
have no idea. I don't have even, like, the sprinkling of an idea. I
no.
have nothing.
I have no idea who the killer is, but I am suspicious that her grandfather may. And something about the way that he has been acting post
Yeah,
murder and something is off to me about him, not in necessarily a negative way. Like, I don't think he's the killer. I just think he knows maybe more than he's telling, or
totally.
there's some underlying story we're missing about him. I have no idea who the killer could be. I don't think, maybe we have. I don't think we've met them thus far because
I
I
don't
just
think
feel
we've
like
met
the crumbs would have been dropped more, maybe.
I don't think so either. I also think that I agree with you. I think the grandfather is a bit suspicious.
But I don't know of what. He just is.
But, like, the way that his wife just died. Like, shall we forget that? I feel like no. And I feel
And
like
it's
he's,
like we're
like
playing poker
and,
and
like, we have a friend. I don't know. The whole thing is, like and the fact, like, she didn't know that he renovated the basement and all this stuff. I'm like, I
it's
don't
just
know about that."
and he also is like like his responses to things are so strange. Like his response to finding
Yeah.
out his granddaughter saw this murderer and it was Frank and he has
Yeah.
problems with Frank. Like I can't explain it. I'm just a little of him. I'm just
Me
like,
too. Same. I feel the same way. I also feel like there's kinda something about him that I'm kinda like, "Oh," like, I feel like I would have a stronger reaction if I found out the guy I don't know, but then it's also weird because it's like, okay, this man, a very clearly competent man, was easily manipulated by Frank being like, "And I'm gonna find these laws." Like, clearly there's something that's happening on the back end
well,
of
and it's
this
also
cat.
he is ex-police, so I'm like, "Oh, maybe his responses are that of, like, the ex-chief of police or
Yeah,
whatever." But then the other thing to me is, like, I really don't think he's the killer because that's too obvious. If he was to be the killer, like, if we get to the end and he's the killer, I'm gonna be like, "Are you fucking joking with me? Like,
yeah.
there's no way that she does all of this work." Like, I just don't believe that. So I don't know what he's suspicious of, but something about, like you said, the manipulation of it all, the choice of
Totally.
grief portrayal.
Totally.
I'm just a little weirded out by him right now.
Totally, same. I don't know, something about his reaction is a little bit bizarre to me too. I can't really get behind it. I'm kind of confused by him, and I thought he would be, like, a bigger part of the story. I love their relationship in the beginning of, like, how they were gonna read books together, like, on this, like, really cutesy little, like, alcove that he
And
built
then
for
he's
her.
kind of fallen off.
I know, and I love the house. I wouldn't wanna give that house up either. Like, you couldn't tear that house from my cold, dead hands, really.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's all of my thoughts. How about you?
That's really all of mine is that I'm enjoying it, honestly, more than I even thought I would, and I
Me
knew
too.
I would like it, but I'm, like, weirdly, like, super into the characters.
I know, every time I go to the car, like, cause I, like, listen to it, and then I listen to the book on, like, my drives and
Yeah.
stuff, I'm like, why am I wanting to listen to this? I'm so confused, and every time I listen to it, I'm like, "Why am I getting so into this?
Yeah,
This is just some small town gossip, and I'm so into it."
totally. I feel like I'm, like, watching it as I'm reading
Totally.
it, if that makes sense. It's very TV show drama to me.
So I could see this being on my mom's TV screen, like, if I came home, this would be on Hallmark, on my mom's television,
Yeah,
like, I just know. My mom loves Hallmark so deeply, my grandparents love Hallmark so deeply, I would come into their house and this would be playing on the screen,
yeah,
and, like, we would be talking about the murder as if it's fucking happening, like,
yeah.
it's I eat it up.
No notes.
No, no, not at all. Okay, so read
Yeah.
along with us if you haven't yet. We love Book
Next
of the Month.
yes, next section for those of you that need a reminder is 25 through 36. Chapters 25 through 36
And
is
don't
what
get daunted by that amount. They're so
they're
small.
short.
This book is
There's
itty bitty, teeny tiny.
isn't this book under 300 pages in total?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
295 pages, so
This is teensy weensy. You
it's
can do
itty
it.
bitty, baby. Okay, we love you. We'll see you in the next chapter. Thanks for reading with us and hanging out with us.
Bye. Love ya.
Bye, love you.